What's good, y'all, man? We're back again with another video, and today we are here to talk about the NBA All-Star teams. This is the biggest topic going on right about now. You would think it's about the trade deadline, but I'm pretty sure we all know nothing is happening. Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, they're pretty much holding that shit up, especially Bradley Beal with that no trade clause. I don't see Zach LaVine getting traded. I don't really see De'Aaron Fox getting traded now. I feel like that trade makes more sense to do in the offseason. So the biggest thing going on is the All-Star game and the All-Star teams that got announced last Thursday. Before we get to this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. I got a few videos dropping this week, so make sure you stick around and hopefully you enjoy it. We're going to start off with the East because I feel like that is the least controversial side. I feel like this team is pretty much damn near perfect. I don't want to say it's perfect, but it's damn near perfect. The starters are Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Cat. I feel like 4 of those are perfect. Now, Donovan Mitchell, best player on the team, most plotted player on the team, so I understand him starting, but he hasn't been the best guard on the Cavaliers this year. I feel like it's obviously been Darius. But I understand Donovan starting, and Darius still made it, so I'm not mad. But if it was the way I would have did it, I would have put Darius here because I feel like he's just been I think he's been the best player this year. I feel like he was on like a little drop like the last 2 weeks, but he just had a very good game. But Darius this whole season has been very consistent and been very good. So I would have put Darius there, but I'm not mad at it. Donovan should be there. He's an all-star. Now, the reserves. This is where it gets a little tricky. Starting off, we got Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam next, then we have Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley. And then the way that the NBA.com is putting it, it seems like the wild card spots were for Damian Lillard and Tyler Hero. Now, this one I think is controversial because I feel like one person just should not be on here, and that is Jaylen Brown. I don't care if the numbers are what? 23, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Jaylen Brown to me has not been good this year. I watched the game beyond the box score. He just hasn't been good. I feel like I think it's a big reason because I think he's playing a lot more on ball, and that, to me, in my opinion, that's just not him. He's doing a lot more playmaking. Yes, the numbers look better. I think he's averaging a career high in assists, but that's just not him. The efficiency is terrible, and still the Jays are doing the same thing. They're still forcing a lot of shots. So I don't think he's been that good this year. If I was to replace him, he is a forward. I would replace him with like Jared Allen, but he's here for a reason. Same thing with Pascal Siakam. I think he's been very good as of late, but they all started out pretty mid. I do think he was okay around that time, and it's going to sound biased because I am a Cavaliers fan, but in my opinion, Jared Allen has been very good, and I think he is deserving over these two guys. But I'm not mad at Pascal making it. Pascal as of late has been very elite, though, so I understand him making it. And I do think it was like a late push kind of thing last month. They were 15-5, the best team in the league for the last month. So I understand him making it. He's by far the best player on the team this year. So I agree with that one. I think he should have made it. But over Jared, I don't know. Jared's been very good. Next, we have Darius. I was so excited to see Darius make this list, man. Because last year was so hard, especially for him, but even for me, man, to see in the conversations people put him in. But to see him make it this year, I think he's been damn near a top 5 point guard this year. I think Darius has been very elite. One of the best offensive players in the league, top 15 best offensive players in the league, and I think his defense has been very good. He's been our best player. So shout out to Darius. Cade, he probably should have started too. I say it all the time, like on Twitter, since I'm more active on Twitter now again. I think the only guards in the East that have been better than Darius is Cade and Jalen Brunson. Everybody else, Darius has been better, but Cade has been amazing. I think the team is still pretty bad, but like he's just a very good player and he's able to uplift it. And then like I said last year, all year, JB Bickerstaff makes shit talent looks good, but he just can't elevate it when he gets to the top to elevate it. But he makes bad talent look good because I feel like for years we've had okay rosters that he made 55+ win team. So shout out to JB for that. I think this team is surprising. I think it's a big part for Cade, averaging 25, 9.2, and the 9.2 is crazy because even me, I just questioned him as a point guard. I still kind of have those questions because he averaging 9.2 assists, but he's also averaging like 5 turnovers in there. But the team, the spacing is still not that good. But At times, I don't know if he can be a point guard, but he's still very good. I think he's taking a big step with his playmaking. And then his defense, to me, I think he's a very versatile defender. He wants to defend. So you like to see that from your point guard and your leader. But yeah, I'm very happy for Cade. I was very high on him coming into the draft, and I'm happy he's here. Evan Mobley, numbers-wise, doesn't look like an all-star, 18-9. But for most of the year, he was the best player. Defense, to me, I feel like right after Wemby, Wemby's numbers is just too crazy. But defense for me, he would be Defensive Player of the Year. I think Evan Mobley has been our defense for a lot of time of the year. Evan Mobley being here is amazing. And it's crazy because, like, I feel like he always had this. He just didn't have a coach or a team in the office to prioritize it. And as soon as we got a coach that's going to prioritize that shit, damn near the best player on the team and an all-star. So I'm happy for him. Dame, to me, again, I feel like when I said that statement earlier about the guards being better than Darius, Dame had an argument. I just feel like Dame had more bad games, but Dame to me has been very good this year. Him and Giannis as a tandem has been very good this year. And speaking of uplifting shitty teams, they're doing that a lot. I feel like it's 3 players good on that team. It's Dame, Giannis, and then 0.5 of Chris Middleton when he want to have good games, and 0.5 of Gary Trent when he want to have good games. The rest of the people are trash. I'm sorry. They just make them look better, which is it's okay. But that team is bad. That team is bad. And then last but not least, Tyler Hero. I was so happy to see that he made this list. It's kind of crazy because I remember like a couple years ago he said he feels like he's in that Luka, Ja, Trey range, and then to see he's the only All-Star of those 4 names is kind of crazy this year. But Tyler's been very good. I believe that team's like the 7th seed. He's been the best player by far on that team, averaging 24, 5, and 5 on the lead efficiency. I think he's taking a step. It kind of sucks that Jimmy and them are going through this whole turmoil because I feel like this is finally the Tyler Hero they needed to put next to Jimmy, and I feel like they can actually do something this year. But I understand that they haven't really did nothing for Jimmy. But back to Tyler Hero, I think Tyler Hero has been a very elite this year, and I'm happy he's on this team. Now, the snubs. Well, what people say are the snubs. Trae Young and LaMelo Ball. Listen, to me, the only reason why LaMelo Ball would be a snub because the fans voted him, I believe, the 2nd best guard. I think he was the 2nd highest guard in fan voting. So to me, that would be the only reason why I would have him as a snub because that's kind of crazy that he had that much votes and didn't make it at all. But as an all-star, no. I don't think he's having a better season than Tyler Hero, Damian Lillard, Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, and definitely Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. I just don't think he has. The numbers look very good, but like they're shit, pretty bad. It's not on him, but like even his efficiency looks terrible. LaMelo is like a hard person for me to judge. But not to really talk about that. I don't think he got snubbed. I think all those guys are having better years and more meaningful years. Same thing with Trae Young. I don't think he's been snubbed. I think over the last month and a half, it hasn't been a good month for that team as a whole. And I kind of think that's probably why he got snubbed. I mean, it's obviously more into it because the NBA hasn't really favored him over his years. But I don't think he's had better years than any of the guards on this team. And that might be a hot take. I think Tyler Hero's been very fucking good. Darius Garland, like I said, Damian Lillard. I think they've all been better than him. The only argument really is Tyler Hero, but I just think he deserved it. I do. Higher seed, and I think he's been by far the best player on the team. I just think he deserved it. I don't think those 2 were snubbed. We're going to get to the only snub that I feel like is a legit snub, but I don't think those 2 names are snubs. Now, on the West side, if Luka was here, by far starting, but the starters are Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic. Off the bench, we have Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Jaren Jackson, Alfred Sengun, Jalen Williams, my guy, and Victor Wembanyama. Now, like I said, for the East, on NBA.com, it kind of looks like the wild card spots for Jalen Williams and Victor Wembanyama, and I kind of understand that because I really do think a lot of these coaches just looked at the Rockets as a 2nd seed, so they said Alperen has to be in. So I think he got voted as one of the 4 spots. I damn sure think that Jaren Jackson and Anthony Davis got voted as one of the 4 spots. But to talk about this team, top 5, like I said, if Luka was here, Steph won't be starting. I think Steph's been good this year, but like the bad games are like terrible. And it's obviously a lot of context behind that we really don't have time to get into. But if Luka was here, he would be starting. Kevin Durant, to me, If the team's better, would be an MVP conversation. It's been very good. Shea is the MVP. LeBron has been pretty good this year, and Jokic is second in the MVP race, third for some people. Now, go to the bench. Anthony Edwards deserves it. Anthony Davis definitely deserves it. James Harden, talk about deserving in that. You might look at his efficiency. They're guarding him like he's 2019 James Harden. He is not 2019 James Harden, but he has to get guarded like that. Still one of the best isolation scorers in the league, one of the best playmakers in the league, top 5 playmakers in the league. Very good player leading that team. I believe they are a 6 or 7 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Overachieving to me because I didn't think the team was going to be that good. You can obviously give a lot of credit to Ty Lue for the defense. The defense is crazy. Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones, and guys are crazy. And give credit to Zubac and Norman Powell having career years, but I think it all boils down to James Harden. So I feel like he had to make the list. Jaren Jackson, by far the best player in the number 3 seed in the West. He had to make the list. I've never been a fan of Jared, but he's moved the hell out of me this year. Alvaro Sengun, we're going to get back to, but he's here. Jalen Williams also going to get back to because he's here. And Victor Wembanyama definitely deserves it. Top 10 player in the league. It would be kind of crazy if he did not make it. The fact that he was a wild card spot is also pretty crazy. Now, the spots I want to talk about. I want to talk about Jalen Williams, Alvaro Sengun, and James Harden. This knock James Harden point out right now, I think it was between Kyrie and James Harden. I'm sorry, I value a lot more what James Harden is doing because like most of the year your best player was out. They're a 7 seed out of the league. And to me he's been by far the best player, the ceiling raiser of this team. They should not be in this position. They wouldn't be in the position without him. Not to say that Kyrie's not having a good year, but James Harden has been elite. 21 and 11. Wait, 8. I'm thinking about Trae Young. 21 and 8. I think he's been very good. Now, Kyrie's been good, but Luka's been out a lot of the time this year, and they're not winning as much games. It's not really an indictment on him because I feel like at times he has also been out too. But I don't know. When you compare him to, I'm just going to give the edge to James Harden because it's more of a surprise than when you're Kyrie. Let's just be honest. You got to go up and beyond after that whole shit that happened with the Nets. That to me was nothing. I don't even remember it, but he has to go up and beyond and have an elite season to where they can't deny it. They can kind of deny it this year and give it to the other guys. So I don't think Kyrie's a snub. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think so. Alvaro Sengun, Jalen Williams. Reason why I wanted to highlight them. It's no way in God's green earth. No way, and y'all know how much I love J-Dub. That is my seed. I seen him before anybody did. Alvaro Sengun, I think he's a very good player. It's no way on God's green earth that they deserve this spot over Demonis. Alvaro Sengun is the last 4 spot, and J-Dub is the first wildcard spot. Oh, no way in God's green earth that they deserve him. Demonis Sabonis. I'm sorry. To talk about Alvaro Sengun, to go at him first, I get it. 2nd seed. Best player on the second. Actually, I'm taking that back. One of the top players on the 2nd seed. But I'm not gonna lie, he's not having a better year than Amen Thompson, arguably with Jalen Green. When I look at this Rockets team, this is why I think even though the Cavs are doing what they're doing, the Thunder are doing what they're doing, to me, Coach of the Year by far, and I mean by far, Ime Udoka. They are like, I don't want to even guess the record. They're a top 2 seed in the West, in the stacked West, who's everybody's winning a lot of games. They're a top 2 seed in the West. They don't have an all-star. In my opinion, they don't have an all-star player yet. And they're a top 2 seed in the West. They're all young as hell. I have to give a lot of that credit to him because the defense is wild. You look at the offense, 11th ranked offense in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Straight offensive rebounds, straight fast break points. That offense is god-awful. It's awful. And a big part of it is Sengun being an inefficient big, being less efficient than Jalen Green. A lot of it goes to him being an ISO big that has to get his own touches and hasn't been efficient in those touches this year. A lot of the blame has to go to him. That's why the offense is not that good because he is like a hub type player, but he's not doing his job this year. I don't really think I think he's been good, but all-star I wouldn't put him here. Demonis is, and then first of all I want to go to Jalen Williams. J-Dub to me has been a top 10 defender this year. All defense, been a good scorer, but when Shea touches the bench, that offense is terrible. And if I'm being more honest about J-Dub, I feel like I haven't been able to share this yet. I had him in like top 25, top 30 talks. He's like top 40, top 50 for sure. Top 50, but around like top 40. I need him to work on getting to the rim more, work on his ball handling more, because a lot of the shots are tough. That's why in the playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks last year was hard, because it's a lot of contested midi shots and not really getting that much separation, just relying on your own shot making, and that's why it's hard. And it's still kind of like that, but I can see him making it more over Sengun, because they were by far the best team in the West, and to me, all NBA defender. If we weren't in the 1B Mobley era, he could be up there in those conversations for Defensive Player of the Year. He's just been that crazy this year, but still, Demonis is fucking crazy. 21, 14, and 6 on elite efficiency, having his best shooting year all around, having his best defensive year all around, been by far the best player on that team, and I love De'Aaron. A lot of people know how much I do love De'Aaron, but he just hasn't been as consistent and as good as Demonis Sabonis. Been a big part of their turnaround, especially, like I said, having his best shooting year, having his best defensive year, a career year. And to not make the All-Star team, and the funny thing is, so funny, it's the funniest thing. He's not going to make the All-Star team, but I will bet most of my bank account he's making the All-NBA team. That just don't make no sense to me, though. It don't make no sense at all, because 21, 14, and 6. Elite efficiency for a big, all around. I would say this year he's been, if not good, an average defender. Was before he was terrible. It's crazy he didn't make this list. It's absolutely crazy. He's the only snub to me. All the other guys, I feel like I need good arguments why they're not a snub. Him not making it over J-Dub and Alperen Sengun is wild. The Alperen Sengun shit, it sounds like I'm hating. If it is, I am. That is the most hair nigga damn thing I've ever seen since Joel Embiid's MVP. Like, they just gave it to him because they're a 2 seed. And I understand it, but see, I'm giving it to a man. I'm not gonna lie, man's been better this year. It's wild, J-Dub. I love you, but nah. Sabonis has been crazy. So the fact that he didn't make it is wild to me. But other than that, I don't think nobody really got snubbed. I think this was a pretty good All-Star list. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like I said, I got a lot of videos dropping. I've said the Men Thompson name. Expecting the Men Thompson video soon. So other than that, man, I'll talk to you later. Peace.